Hi, good afternoon. My name is Nicole Roberts. Today's date is March 10, 2018. This is week 1 of Anatomy and Physiology Bio 240. In this week's video discussion, I will be completing the how to digitally label your slides using the histology lab from the endocrine system glands. So here we go. We're going to go ahead and get started. Okay, so this is the slide for the pituitary gland, and we're going to be labeling 3 cells. We're going to be labeling the acidophil cell, the basophil cell, and also the nucleus of the pituocyte. So we're going to go ahead and get started. If you see down here, I've already, for the thyroid gland, I've already completed my labels. So I'll be showing you how to do that for the pituitary gland. So the first thing is first, thankfully they've already included the histology slides in the lab for us, so we don't have to do any copying and pasting there. It's strictly labeling. So I'm going to go to the very top of the tabs, and just to let you know, I am in my Windows 2013 version. So I'm going to go ahead and click Insert right here. Okay, and it's going to bring up a whole bunch of different tabs, a whole bunch of options. I'm going to slide my mouse over to the text box right here. Text box. I'm going to click on that. I'm going to right click on it. And then it gives me a whole bunch of different options right here. I like to draw my text box, so I'm going to come all the way to the bottom and right click Draw Text Box. And then right here, we're going to go back to our, let me scroll up a little more. We're going to go back to our pituitary gland histology slide. And I already have labeled, have included the labels here for the cells. So this label right here is going to be for the basophil cell. So I'm just going to complete my drawing box. And how I do that is I right click and I just drag it. Okay, and I release. And then it lets me type in whatever text I want to type in, which will be the basophil cell. So just for, because I'm actually holding the camera with my left hand, so I'm just going to copy and paste. So I'm just going to drag my mouse over to the basophil cell here. Left click, and it allows me to copy. It'll go back to my box, and then I'm going to paste it. Okay, so how did I get this label right here? This the red label. Well, if you double click on the text box and we go to the very top, it actually brings up these options for labeling. So I just like to click here. I like to use this slide right here. So I just right click it one time, come back to my slide, and then it just allows me to click and draw my point of cell. That is the basophil cell. Okay. Alrighty. And so, nextly, I'm going to be labeling the pituocyte, the nucleus of the pituocyte. Okay, so I'm going to go back up to the Insert tab right here, right click it one time, going to drag my mouse over to the text box, right click that one time, scroll down to Draw Text Box, right click that. Oops, let's see. Okay, and then we come down here. Right click and just drag it out and then release. And then we're going to, like I said, I do type it, but my left hand is occupied with the camera. So just for purposes of not having to put down the camera, I'm just going to copy and paste the text. So the nucleus of the pituocyte, we're going to left click that, click copy, and paste it right into the text box. Okay. Okay, and then we're going to just drag this down so we can see all the text. There we go. Okay, so we have completed the labeling of the nucleus of the pituitary. Lastly, we're going to label the acidophil cell. So we're going to do the same thing. Go right back up, right-click the Insert tab one time, take our handy mouse, scroll all the way over to the text box, click the text box, draw text box, come down here, right-click, drag, and release. Okay. And then we're going to copy and paste the acidophil cell labeling into our box. All right, and that is completed. And again, for the actual labels here for the cells, I just you can double click on the text box, and then it will provide you your options of how you want to label it. So I have often used this label as well with the arrow. I kind of go back and forth just depending on the histology and the slide in the lab. So I use these two the absolute most. But you can utilize whatever type of icon that you would like. Alrighty, and just to kind of go over the pituitary gland itself. The anterior pituitary gland actually has two types of cells that are responsible for producing hormones. Those cells are the acidophil cell, which we have labeled here, and also the basophil cell. Okay, and the acidophil cell produces the tropic and non-tropic hormones, and then the basophil cells are responsible for producing the tropic hormones. And so the pituocytes are the cells that store the oxytocin and antidiuretic hormones for release. So it's like a storage, and the pituocytes can be actually found in the posterior pituitary gland of the cell. So I just wanted to give you some tidbit on what we were actually labeling here. And so that actually concludes my week 1 video lab of the endocrine system slides and labeling. Thank you so much.